Hi guys, it's Angela, Ben's mom, and I just wanted to jump on real quick and make a quick video. Ben's upstairs having virtual session with a therapist, and he still gets some home therapy, not as much as he used to. No more OT or speech or it's just a few hours of intervention therapist that does works on some goals with him. And I'm making this video because we are planning a meeting to go over writing some IEP goals for his next year. He still has his IEP, and I started to reflect on like all the therapists that used to be in my home, how things are changing, all the meetings we used to have, and I just want to give a little tip of advice that I wish someone would have said to me early on, and it took me a little time to figure this one out for myself. But a lot of these kids are low verbal or nonverbal or in their world pretty often, especially when they're younger. And there's a lot of therapists that come and go into the home, and often there's a lot of conversation that happens in front of the child, not intentionally to make them feel bad in any way, but just because these kids are so quiet. Let's just say it's the end of a therapy session and your child starts to play with his toys or line his things up or watch his own show, or he's just self-talking or whatever it may be. And the therapist is still in the home and they start to talk to you about the session. They may start saying, we really need to work on this, or he's really not doing that too well, or she had a hard time with this today. It's right in front of the kid. Even though the child may seem to not be listening or paying attention or having any part in that discussion, they're in the room or nearby, and because they're low verbal, non-verbal, whatever you want to call that for your own kid, sometimes they're verbal but they're just in their world a lot, we don't take into account that they can still be listening to us, still understanding us, and still taking in that information. So it's just a caution for you guys, and maybe an awareness. It took me a while, and then I'd have to say things to my therapist like, can we not talk about this in front of Ben, or can we set up a meeting to talk about this when he's not around, because I would realize that he is taking that in. And let's face it, a lot of it's not always what a great job the child did. A lot of it is telling you the struggle they had in the session, or their behaviors, or what needs to be worked on, or what they're behind in. And these kids are present for a lot of that conversation. So just try to have an awareness, would be my advice, of where your child is when therapists are in your home and trying to talk to you about the kid. It's nobody's fault. I think we just all do it with not the intention ever to upset our children. We just kind of go with the feeling that they're not really registering the conversations around them, but they are. Often they are. And I had to learn that. I learned that and made a lot of changes with that. So right now we're scheduled, well, Ben's older now, but all our conversations are after session without the child in the room, or by phone, or talk about it later, or have them come in and talk to you before they meet with the child, and when the child isn't present in the room with you. Just something to consider, okay? Hope it helps. I do want to say that these children are a lot smarter than we often realize. They are taking in a lot of things around them, and we want them to hear a lot of positive talk. And often we have to talk about the goals and what we're working on and what their challenges are. But I don't think those conversations should be when the child's present. I think that we need to uplift them as much as we can, point out all the positives they're doing in the day, even if they had a really day that they struggled a lot, even if we could find a few positives that we know, they showed, and give them praise in that way, and try to keep the other conversations when they're not in the room. Okay, hope that helps you guys. Have a great day. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for following Ben. Talk to you soon.